Hey folks, it's Rob from Rob's Movie Collection, and here is my Black Friday haul. Let's get going. I got a lot of them to go. And so, Black Friday 2017 begins. Okay, yeah, starting with Best Buy. So, Best Buy picked up Spider-Man Homecoming. I was hoping to get Doctor Strange and Beauty and the Beast, but they just weren't on sale this year, unfortunately. So a lot of the summer ones were, which I've unfortunately mostly bought, but I hadn't bought this yet. So no slipcover, but still, Blu-ray, DVDs. So that's not bad. A lot of blind buys this year for me. A lot of stuff that I haven't seen before. This is one of them. It's called Masterminds. It didn't do very well at all, but gosh, it's got such a great cast. I like all these actors. And the preview looked kind of funny, so I thought I'd take a chance. It's pretty cheap. Let's see. Next up, I got Suicide Squad, another one that I wasn't sure about. This one, I'm not a big fan of the bad guys being the protagonists, but Margot Robbie, who plays Harley Quinn, I've seen a lot of clips of her, and she looks. I just like the way she plays the character. She's pretty funny. Not sure about Will Smith as Deadshot, but we'll see how it turns out. So I just thought I'd give that a shot. Mostly because it was cheap. And then I got Warcraft. I'm not familiar with the game. I've never played the game. I'm probably sure fans of the game probably don't like this movie. But I love not being familiar with the source material for one, so I could just enjoy it. This one I have seen, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't fantastic, but I got a lot of great visuals, and you can get pretty excited. And I like the characters. So I went with it. And then I got this one, which I haven't seen, Table 19. Comedy with a lot of good actors. Oh, look, it's Flash Thompson from Spider-Man. Jay looks such a bully. But a lot of good actors. I really like the actors. And, something different other than, explosions and superheroes. That's kind of nice. A couple of Christmas films. How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. A classic. It's become a classic anyway. And, of course, you guessed it, Elf with Will Ferrell. These two I have seen and I enjoyed. And then another one I haven't seen, Going in Style. I got this because, even though I haven't seen it, the trailer looks good. It's a remake of an old film. But these are great actors who I've enjoyed for almost all my life. And I took a chance on another one with Morgan Freeman a year or two ago called Las Vegas, and that turned out to be really good. So, chance with that one. And then I got Underworld Blood Wars, the finale supposedly to the Underworld series. I have all the Underworld movies, and I've enjoyed those. Even though I like my vampires more traditional, but I've said this before. Kate Beckinsale in a tight black outfit, so whatever. I know I'm really judging that film, really judging it by all its qualities. A couple of series. I got Supergirl, the second season. This is probably going to be the last season of Supergirl that I buy because the show has kind of gone off the rails, and I really don't like the direction in which it's gone, and it's just become too much of an agenda-driven show. But I got this one because this one introduced Superman into the show, and even though he just appears in one or two episodes, but I like this version of Superman more than I like the Henry Cavill movie version that's currently out there. So, especially when it plays Clark Kent. And then I got DC Legends of Tomorrow as well. Yes, DC Legends of Tomorrow. Last year I got the first season, and it's kind of a dorky show, but it's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, so I'm okay with it. Not the greatest, but still fun to watch. And then finally, The Flash Season 3. I got the first two seasons. I believe I got them at Black Friday sales as well, and I enjoy this show. It's a pretty good show. Sure, does some things that are a little bit different than the comic, but that's almost to be expected these days. But it's a good alternate universe version of The Flash. So next up, Target. Okay, yes, at Target. So at Target, I got the Batman Lego movie. Batman's been way overexposed over the last decade or two, but the clips I've seen in this movie, it's actually pretty funny. I have to admit it looked pretty funny to me. So for the $5 that they had it for, I thought, yeah, why not? Modern Family, probably my favorite current TV show, Modern Family. I really enjoy it a lot. I've got the first 7 seasons. I've been collecting this one. And just a well-written show. I work Wednesday evenings, so I can't always see the beginning of it, so I always collect these. I'm just going to binge watch them. And then, when I haven't seen, Baby Driver. Everybody's been telling me about Baby Driver, and I keep seeing clips, and everybody's going on about how great it is. I do like Edgar Wright, and the clips I've seen on YouTube have been pretty good, so I figured I'd give it a try. Certainly cheaper than it was normally. And another one I haven't seen, Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Tim Burton film. That's all I gotta know. I really like Tim Burton. I always have. So I thought I'd give it a try. Somehow didn't get around to seeing it. Don't get to the movies as much as I'd like anymore. Storks, animated movie here. This came and went really fast. I don't know why. The trailer looked pretty funny. You know, it certainly didn't look any worse than a lot of these animated movies, but who knows? But this one was really pretty cheap, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And, you know, often I tend to like stuff that nobody else likes, so it's not that much of a risk, but we'll see. And then finally at Target, I got Stranger Things. Oh boy, everyone's been telling me about Stranger Things and how great it is and how much it's right up my alley, and it's because it's set in the 80s, and I grew up in the 80s. 70s and 80s, and it's got a lot of pop culture references to the 80s, so yeah, thought I'd give it a shot. And I love the way this is looks like an old VHS, which I'm definitely very familiar with, so hopefully it'll be good. I hope I'll enjoy it. And now for the big one. Yes, Walmart is the big one. So Walmart, Shaun the Sheep on the Loose. I love Shaun the Sheep. I love Aardman Animation. I've got several of them. I think last year I got the Shaun the Sheep movie I believe at the Black Friday sale. Can you guys hear that knocking? Somebody, of course, decides to start doing construction exactly when I turn this camera on. If you're lucky, you'll hear the buzzsaw in a second. Anyway, so not gonna stop me. So Shaun the Sheep. Christmas with the Cranks. You know, I like Jamie Lee Curtis. Tim Allen's okay. I've heard of this one for a while. These green promo stickers, that means $1.96. So for $1.96, I figured I'd try it. I know my dad likes Tim Allen, so I figured maybe he'll like it. And then I got Trolls, another animated one, which I think did a little bit better than Storks, but not huge. But I like animated films, and I like to get ones that are not always Disney or Pixar, so I'd give that a try. Had a nice catchy tune by Justin Timberlake, I believe. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. I really liked the first Jack Reacher movie, and this one was pretty good too. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty good. And again, I'm glad I'm not familiar with the source material. I know it's a series of novels, and some people have said that he's not a good Jack Reacher. I wouldn't know, so I'm glad I haven't read those. And finally, I got Power Rangers. I actually bought this twice. I had to return it for Target because I just forgot that I bought it like an hour earlier. So I got that one. Again, same thing. I haven't seen it, but and I wasn't a huge Power Rangers fan. I knew about it because at that point I was already a teenager. But it looked pretty good. Visually looked interesting. I like the fact that she's in it, and she thought it was good enough to be in it. So thought I'd give it a shot, see what it's like. And let's see what else I got. Inferno. Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks. Anything with Tom Hanks in it. I was going to get Sully too, and then I got distracted and I somehow forgot. So I may go back, see if it's still around. But yeah, the third movie in those Da Vinci Code. Or started with the Da Vinci Code. Another animated feature, The Boss Baby. Again, I haven't seen it, but you know what? I love Alec Baldwin, and his voice coming out of a baby. It just kind of seemed funny. So good. And then I got this one, Central Intelligence. Not a big fan of him, but a big fan of him. And the clips I've seen seem pretty funny. I love Dwayne Johnson. He's this big tough guy who doesn't mind looking silly to be funny. And I think he does look kind of silly in some parts of this film. So I thought I'd give it a try. I'm looking forward to both of them in the new Jumanji movie. So that's about that. And another animated movie, Angry Birds movie. So again, it's one of those matters I've seen clips of it, and it seems kind of funny. And for $1.96, try not to read into it that it's only $1.96. So hopefully it'll be good. My logic is if it does suck, then it's only $1.96. So Railroad Tiger starring Jackie Chan. Pretty much anything with Jackie Chan. I just like Jackie Chan. You know, I think he's fun. So I got Kung Fu Yoga recently, and so Keanu. Now, I don't know anything about this. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know anything about it. I've seen the trailer, of course, and I like these two guys. I like these two comedians. They're very funny. So, and the trailer looks. Thank you, Mr. Construction. You can just keep going there. Yeah. So thought I'd give that a shot. Again, $1.96. Not bad. Teen Titans: The Judas Contract. I'm not a big fan of these current DC animated cartoons because they're mostly seem to be set in the New 52, and I can go on about that. I won't. But I remember I was a big fan of the Teen Titan comic book in the 80s, and I remember the storyline, The Judas Contract. So I was interested to see. I've seen parts of it on YouTube, and I figured it might be worth getting, even though they've changed the lineup and the team and all that. But in the back here, this documentaries talk about how they talk to Marv Wolfman and George Perez. So I'll get it for that. Let's see, time-wise, we're almost. We better get going really fast. Doris Day, The Essential Collection. Love Doris Day movies. And look, it's got all of these, some of the classic ones with Rock Hudson and James Gardner, so that's great. And then these two, I haven't gotten yet. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Again, I started to watch part of this on TV one time, and it was pretty funny, and I like Bill Hader, so Bill Hader's really good. And finally, this isn't really as much of a Black Friday thing. On Saturday, I went over to Barnes & Noble, just for other reasons, just to browse, and I came across a couple that I bought. Murder on the Orient Express. This is the one from with David Suchet. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but the guy that played Poirot in the TV series, and of course they did a lot of her famous novels here. And I just saw the current one, the new one in the movie theater, and I really liked it. And so yeah, I bought this one because it's got to be good. He was really good there. 30% off there. And I also got this Bob Hope Ultimate Movie Collection. Bob Hope is probably my favorite comedic actor of all time. I love this guy. I grew up watching him. I've always watched him. It's got so many of his movies. A lot of these are Hugh Bouquet is one I've been looking for a long time. It's got an American Masters documentary on him and a whole bunch of other extras. And this was 30% off. So both of these were 30% off. And then I got to the cash register, and there was a lady in front of me, and she was paying for her things. And when she finished paying, she turned to me and she said, "You know what? I actually got an extra coupon here, 25% off. You can have it." And just handed it to me. I'm like, whoa, thank you. So I ended up getting a pretty good deal on these two. So that was good. That was a nice little capper to my Black Friday weekend there. So that's it. That's it for me. That's what I got. A lot of blind buys. Yeah, Black Friday's always kind of fun. Didn't much care for the way like Target had their thing set up. It was just all over the place. But I managed to find everything, and of course Walmart had their stuff in the usual mess in the frozen food section as usual. But you know what? I found that even though it was crowded, these places opened up around 6, and I went 7 or 8. And even though it was crowded, people were pretty good. There wasn't any shoving or anything, so people were pretty polite and pretty gracious. So, and even the cash register went pretty fast. So, good Black Friday experience for me. I hope you guys had a good one, and I hope you got a lot of good stuff that you can watch through December. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video, and keep watching those movies.